This is Iran, one of the world's most ancient civilizations. For nearly 500 years, Iran has been on the world map with these same borders, clashing with almost every superpower including the Romans, Arabs, Mongols, Turks, Russians, and the British. Every superpower has attempted to invade Iran, and one of the primary reasons for this is Iran's location at a global crossroads. It is one among a few countries that link Europe, Africa, and Asia. Iran today borders 7 countries: Pakistan and Afghanistan to its east, Turkmenistan to its north, and Iraq to its west, Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan to the northwest. Iran has access to 3 seas: the Caspian Sea in the north, the Persian Gulf, and the Gulf of Oman to the south. The Strait of Hormuz, located on Iran's southern border, is a crucial and geographically very strategic region in the world. Approximately 20% of global oil and gas supply goes via this site. Since 1970, Iran has occupied 7 islands near the Strait of Hormuz, which were formerly held by the UAE. Iran also occupies the Ashuradeh island in the Caspian Sea. Iran has been a source of concern for the West for the past 40 years. Despite their strong armies and economies, no Western country has been able to attack and conquer Iran. Every country understands that launching a direct attack on Iran might have serious consequences. Iran's terrain is a fundamental reason why it is unconquerable. In today's video, we will look at how Iran's history, location, and proxy conflicts have contributed to its current power. First, let's examine Iran's geography. The Zagros mountain range spans along Iran's southern and western borders, extending from the country's coast into Iraq and Turkey. This mountain range provides Iran a tremendous and natural defense. The terrain is incredibly tough to navigate. These mountains have been so beneficial to Iran that when Iraq attacked Iran in 1980, its plan was to capture Khuzestan before moving on to take over the rest of Iran to crush the Iranian Revolution. But it failed to move its forces forward in spite of several offenses. Even if someone succeeds to cross the coastlines of Iran and the 2 mountain ranges into Iran, they will confront the next major obstacle: the Dasht-e-Lut and Kavir deserts. The Dasht-e-Lut and Kavir desert is known as the hottest spot on earth, with temperature reaching 70 degrees Celsius in 2005. Navigating this difficult and unfriendly environment is nearly impossible. Aside from location, Iran's geopolitical policy is another aspect that has contributed to its current strength. The discovery of significant oil and gas deposits near the Persian Gulf in the 20th century increased the value of Iran's geography. Iran currently has approximately 10% of the world's oil and 15% of its natural gas reserves. Iran's 2,500 km coastline, which is divided into 2 seas, provides an additional layer of security. Bandar Abbas, Iran's main seaport, lies only 70 km from the Strait of Hormuz, which is Iran's most powerful geopolitical leverage. If Iran's navy blocks the Strait of Hormuz, which is highly likely in case of a war, the global economy may collapse, as 15% of the world's energy supply travels through the Strait of Hormuz on its way to Asia and Europe. Let's look at Iran's demographics. The population is around 90 million, of which 95% are Shia Muslims. Ethnically, 62% are Persian, 16% are Azeri, 10% are Kurds, and the remaining 12% are Baloch, Lurs, Arabs, and Turks. Before the 1979 Shia revolution, Iran was a liberal country and a strong ally of the US in the region. Back then, the US even supplied military jets to Iran and several other armaments. Interestingly, before 1979, Iran and Israel had very good relations. In fact, Iran was the second largest Muslim majority country to recognize Israel in 1948. However, when Imam Khomeini came to power, the dynamics changed. Khomeini swiftly expressed solidarity for the Palestinians and proclaimed Israel as Iran's #1 enemy. Tehran severed all diplomatic ties with Israel, stopped all flights to Israel, and turned the Israeli embassy in Tehran into a Palestinian embassy. The Arab governments surrounding Iran were likewise on high alert following the Shia revolution, fearful that Iran's Islamic revolution could spread to neighboring countries and endanger their monarchy. The Arab states in 1980 backed Saddam Hussein's war on Iran. However, the war ended in a stalemate. Iran knew it needed to export its philosophy outside its boundaries in order to survive. Iran began to assist anti-Israel or anti-Zionist groups, including the Hamas in Palestine, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Fatimiyun Brigade in Syria, the Badr organization in Iraq, and Ansarullah, also known as Houthis, in Yemen. This network is known as Axis of Resistance. Iran uses this network to impose pressure on Israel and even Arab countries, pushing them to think twice before taking any action against Iran. When Israel began bombing Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon fired missiles at Israel in solidarity with the Palestinians living in Gaza, while Yemen's Houthis used drones to target Israeli and American ships transiting through Red Sea via the narrow strait called the Bab el-Mandeb. Iran's proxy war tactics has given immense advantage and has made it a force to reckon with. When discussing warfare strategy, it is necessary to highlight Iran's drone and missile technology. In January 2024, when the Houthis were constantly launching drone attacks on cargo ships belonging to Israel in the Red Sea, France intervened. It deployed its navy and fired missiles worth $1 million each to destroy a $20,000 Houthi drone. Iran had supplied these drones to the Houthis. According to the US Central Command's 2022 assessment, Iran has the Middle East's largest and most advanced ballistic missile arsenal, with missiles capable of targeting targets as far as 2,000 kilometers distance. In summary, when we examine Iran's geography, proxy strategy, and missile and drone technology, we see that despite Western sanctions and a weak economy, Iran remains a country with immense potential and many uncertainties. Whether it is about its nuclear program, proxy network funding, or missile technology, all of these grey areas make Western nations hesitant to undertake a frontal attack on Iran. Consider this. Iran has significant powers simply because of the world's maritime choke points. The Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb are within its target range. Even Russia and China are now unofficially supporting Iran. When Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated by Israel while on his official trip to Iran, many people speculated about what initiatives Iran may undertake and how it would reply in the future, as well as if Iran could endure an assault from Israel and the United States. Iran did, however, retaliate against Israel after the bombing of its embassy in Syria and the assassination of Nasrallah, the leader of Iran's ally Hezbollah. As we make this video, the clouds of war are looming large and there is very little being done to stop Israel's relentless bombing of Gaza and Lebanon. The Arab and Muslim world holds Israel and the US responsible for this catastrophe. We wish and pray good sense prevails and Israel does not expand its war in the region by attacking Iran. We will see you in the future video for another intriguing topic. Until then, take care and stay safe.